How's it hanging, YouTube's Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to another Saturday Night Live. And we've got a full show for you tonight. In that, we've got a stocked panel. So I'm over the moon to say we've got a whole host of YouTube's finest here. We'll start off with my good friend from San Diego, Efren. How are you doing, Efren?
Hey, what is going on, comic book familia? I made it this Saturday. Next Saturday, I'm going to be away at a comic book convention, so hopefully I can go live for a couple minutes again. Yep.
Excellent. Will we be seeing anybody exciting next week? Are you going to see anybody?
Be there is Chris Claremont, so I'm going to try. Well, if I go on your channel, if you have one next Saturday, I'm going to try to have him say hi to you guys.
That'll be tremendous. Tremendous. Always a pleasure to have you, Efren. It was lovely to spend some time with you on Monday night. We did our new show where we kind of did a bit of an interview and showed off some of your books and things. So please do go check that out. It was great. Great. Spend some time with you one-on-one. We might as well stick with the good old US of A and bring in Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
Well, as always, I'm just Ducky.
Yeah, Rob's trying to get Ducky kind of trending. I like that. We'll see if any of the rest of the panel are feeling Ducky tonight, right, Rob? Are you well? You're fresh off your Only Slabs.
Yes, only all of 10 minutes ago or so, we wrapped up an incredible show. I know you were there for a moment. It's just, it's always fun when somebody says they're going to bring on some amazing Golden Age books or bring on some Frazetta and stuff. But then when they bust out, oh yeah, we're going to do some superhero stuff, and they start dropping 8.0's Tale of Suspense, 7.0 original First Hulk, just high grade, massive keys.
I mean, it was a Tales of Suspense #1 as well.
Well, there was a Tales of Suspense 1. It was there was just some incredible stuff. It was definitely one of those times where you needed to smoke afterwards. A couple of times.
Yeah, it was incredible. Great show. Please do go and check out the rewind of that. It's a fantastic show. Always a pleasure to have you here, Rob. Next, we've got our good friend JP. How are you doing, JP?
All good. Sun's out, guns out today in the northeast.
Yeah, it is. It's warm over here in the UK.
It's warm. Finally.
Yeah. It's nice. I'm complaining it's too hot, obviously, because I'm ginger. So I'll just But
hashtag Ginger Kong.
Ginger. Oh, don't start on bloody Ginger Kong again.
It's trending. It's trending. I'm sorry, man.
And I noticed Spine Ticks were putting clips of it on the other day. That was very cool.
Yeah.
What's the temperature over there? You can give it to me in Celsius. It's fine.
I haven't got a clue.
It's been about
scorch you
16 Celsius. So about
that's hot.
60. That's
Rob. That's positively
east.
tropical. That's
it's
tropical
26 for the here.
Oh, bug off.
If Pete stepped outside, he'd evaporate.
Yeah, I just turn red. I'm like a scene from Dracula. If I go out in that kind of heat, I just turn ash. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, someone from not too far from you, Pete. We've got good old Chris, Core Collect. How you doing, Chris?
Hello. I'm good, guys. How are you?
Down the road.
Not so bad. Not so bad. And Chris, how are you? I haven't seen you on the show for a while, so I hope you're well, mate. Always nice to see you.
Very well, mate. Just working hard, working as usual, and kind of working on my channel a bit and some other little side projects, but all good, mate.
You've had some very successful videos recently, but I noticed you've got one about how to store comics. Was it that did very well?
Well, I've done a couple. I've done one like kind of how to protect your comics, like bagging and board, and like the way that I do it, and then a follow on like how to store them. I thought it'd be quite good to do a protection and a storage one. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing quite well.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And a few things hopefully.
And last but not least, we've got some YouTube royalty. Someone who's on one of my favorite comic book review shows, The Nerd Herd, and has got his own channel. We've got Phil. How are you doing, Phil?
Grand, thank you very much for having me. I've been busting to go on this show. I keep rejecting your offers. I'm very busy. As you said, royalty. I have loads of engagements to get.
You've been a bit of a tease, to be honest, Phil. I have to say, a bit of a tease. But you're here now.
Finally. And just, I think it's funny whenever we talk to guys like Efren from San Diego and Rob, where are you from?
I'm from just a little bit further up. I'm in San Francisco Bay Area.
And we talk about being hot. Like 16 degrees is a heat wave for us. Like I'm literally sweaty all day.
I'm the same. I'm sweating my nuts off sat here. And
it's like 26 is just a mild day.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
What?
Anyway, we're gonna balance things out because I've just noticed we've had another American joining the show tonight. We've got Austin. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Very good.
Hello.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining. So, guys, this is Austin. Austin is predominantly a toy collector. Austin, do you collect comics as well?
I have some. I have a bit. But yeah, primarily action figure collector, toy collector. Yeah.
Good stuff. And Austin, I met Austin at Star Wars Celebration.
This is the only one.
Hey, man, that's my jam. That's my jam. Big horror.
That's the only one I've got.
That's a good one, though.
So my mum wanted me that.
Is Austin the one who's the bad influence on you, Pete, for buying all these 1/6 scales?
I'm just going to say yes. Yeah, Austin.
And then I get it from you now myself.
Yeah. So Austin, Phil was very much a comic book collector, and he wasn't into 1/6 scale action figures. And then a few months back, about 3 months or so, we got him on one of our shows and started showing him all the sexy things you can buy. And he went in slow. He bought an in-art to start with. You know what I mean? Start at the bottom. But how many have you got now, Phil? How many have you ordered?
Just the 2 so far, but that's plenty. So I've got the T800 from Present Toys coming, and then I pre-ordered that Aragorn from InArt.
That Present Toys Terminator, the T800, that one's fantastic, especially for that price point.
Yeah.
Really good. Mine's shipped out, so it should be here hopefully beginning of next week.
Yeah, mine's on its way.
I will say, and although Phil, you do have to go in slow to start with.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining. Austin, you're going to have to dip out. Is that right? Are you going to be with me for a little while and then in and out?
Yeah. I'll definitely try and stay on as long as I can.
Good stuff, my man. Good stuff. Okay, guys, before we start, we'll just quickly jump into the comments and see who we've got. So, as ever, we're joined by our friend StreamYard. Thank you very much, StreamYard. We've got Hulk Collector 82, hand pink waving. Thank you very much. We've got Ian Carter. Thank you, Ian. And Ian, I appreciate you always joining me. Do appreciate that. We've got good old Dr. Von Hoot. Now, Dr. Von Hoot can't be on tonight because I want to say I don't like it, but there's something on in the UK today. There's the Eurovision Song Contest that lots of people are watching. And
not my cup of tea.
Are our American friends familiar with
my youngest is all about Eurovision and stuff.
Really?
The great thing about it is that they will I can set them up with bags and boards, and they will put on Eurovision and watch that and just sit there and machine bag and board for me. And so I've got hundreds of bags and boards stacked up ready to go thanks to Eurovision and my youngest's desire to do something while watching it.
Yeah,
gotta love child labor.
Yeah, make them work while they do it.
Never heard of it.
God bless you.
You've never heard of the Eurovision Song Contest?
What?
It's only, to be fair, Austin, it's only the biggest singing contest in the planet. But you know what I mean?
You know, they have those silly accents, though, right?
That's true. That is true.
We've all got silly accents.
But they're singing, which makes it all go away.
So we've also got Andy from Perpetual Comics. Thank you very much for joining, Andy. Do appreciate you, mate. And I've got, later on when we're talking about pickups, I've got an act of kindness from Andy that I'm going to open later on. I've not opened it yet, but I'm hoping he normally sends us underwear and stuff like that. So I hope it's comics this time. So we'll see what
Jenny Frisian.
It'll be a Frisian
and Jock.
We've got good old Fuzzy. Thank you very much for joining, Fuzzy. And again, a massive thank you to Fuzzy because Fuzzy's one of our more regular supporters. So Fuzzy, we do appreciate you, my friend. Let's see if we've got anybody else. And the rest of it, oh my God. Von Hoot is saying Eurovision finale. I love it. It's hilarious. It is hilarious, but for all the wrong reasons, Phil, really. Okay, guys, we've got quite a bit to get through tonight. So the way we do this, guys, is we're going to cover first of all the Geek Report. So this is just talking about some of the things that have happened in pop culture this week. It can be comic book, movie related, and I just want your take on it. If there's anything that excites you or takes your interest. So first of all, this bit of news. Has everybody seen Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way?
Yes.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet? Oh, it's tremendous. No. Tremendous. You've not seen it either, Phil?
No, I have.
Oh, you have?
I was agreeing
with
you.
Just quickly then, without spoilers, score out of 10 from Phil?
8.5.
8.5.
I think a 9's too much, but 8's too low. So 8.5.
Okay, good. How about you, Austin?
Yeah, I like 8.5. 8.5 is solid. There's not a whole lot of movies for me that are in that 9 to 10 range. That's saved for, damn near perfection. But this is up there for me. 8.5, yeah. And I'm curious what a second watch will do too. So I can't wait till I start streaming.
So I went to the cinema to see it again on Friday. So I've seen it twice now, because I'm always very conscious that when I go in to see a movie, I see it with the geek goggles on.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, a bit blinded to it. So I went in to see it for a second time with some friends, and it was just as good. It stood up.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Sometimes when I leave a movie, the hype kind of gets me. So like David Ayer's Suicide Squad. When I left the theater, I was like, man, this is so fucking fun. I loved it. And then, when I watched it the second time, I'm like, huh.
It's shit.
That's
how I felt about almost every Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
You see, I had the opposite effect. I went in to see Multiverse of Madness and thought it was utter shit, and very disappointing. And then I went and saw it a second time, and I thought, actually, this isn't bad. It's not. It's by no means a great film, but it's not the dog shit I thought it was.
So did you guys see that 2018 Power Rangers? I watched it in theater, didn't like it.
Yeah.
Then I watched it again. I'm like, man, you know what? This is pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with this.
Yeah, but I'm angry with that movie, because I went and saw that, and like you didn't like it. Then I watched it at home with my son and thought, actually, do you know what? This is all right. And when the music kicks in, I got quite excited. Mm-hmm. But I used that to base my excitement for watching the new Netflix Power Rangers show.
Why?
Oh no! I'm not. I'm just not. I don't think I'm the right demographic for that show.
You know what? For a 55-minute long movie, it felt very drawn out.
Yeah.
The tone was fitting for like the show back in the early 90s. They nailed the tone, but I didn't love it.
Not good. Have you seen that one, Phil?
The Netflix one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I was a Power Rangers. That was my show as a kid. I used to record that every morning before school and watch it after school. Like that was my shit. And it feels cheap or something, but it's the exact same tone as you mentioned from the TV show, and it was great.
Yeah. So that was the intent. I'm pretty certain. To keep the tone and the feel and the production very similar to like what Mighty Morphins was. So like I appreciate them catering to that audience. It's just a shame that none of the actors can act.
But they couldn't back in the day, Phil, to be fair.
Yeah, but then when you were whenever you were like 8-year-old watching that, you didn't care.
I went on a nostalgia kick, and I tried to look up all the Power Ranger things on YouTube, and then I got Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator.
Introducing the Power Rangers. I was like, I could remember that in the summer.
Good stuff. Okay, guys, so just wanted to mention this briefly. This was Guardians of the Galaxy cast members that appear in Superman Legacy, and James Gunn's wife was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I just wanted to get your take, because this seems to wind people up, and some of the guys I work with on YouTube and stuff like that were quite upset about James Gunn's wife being in it, and then he uses the same actors all the time and stuff like that. I mean, Rob, I'll come to you first. Do you give a shit? Because my view is, if I'm working with someone and they're good, I probably use them again for something else.
Whether they're good or not, it's your wife. I mean, you gotta, if she's the leading actress, one thing. If she's in some side character that's just there for a moment, cares?
Yeah. You do things to help your mates out, don't you? I mean, I'm going to use Efren here as an example. Efren, my good friend Efren, got a golden ticket last year to present at San Diego Comic-Con about his YouTube channel. And one of the first things he did was contact me and said, I've got this opportunity, Peter. Do you want to jump in on it and video something? Now, that to me, that's exactly the same as James Gunn's kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's reaching out to your mates, to your friends, and helping them out a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Look, and Hollywood's full of nepotism anyways, but so, I mean, well, let's say the workforce is full of it, so who cares? I'm a big Tim Burton fan. There's a guy who reuses people over and over again. So
this isn't anything new, or just a James Gunn thing. Everybody does this.
Scorsese does it,
every director does this, and at least, Rob mentioned it. I mean, he's not giving them leading roles, which is different. So like that's the hate that like Rob Zombie gets with like Sherry Moon, his wife.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a bit different because she really is front and center almost all the time. It doesn't take me out of it whatsoever, but I can understand that a bit more from people. But with Sean Gunn, so like James Gunn's brother-in-law, he elevated like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies for me, and just like you said, Peter, I mean,
Kraglin was such a good character.
Yeah, fantastic, especially in Volume 3. If I have friends, first and foremost, I'm gonna try and elevate them when I can, if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it's nothing new because Sam Raimi did it with Ted Raimi, in all his films. He always has Bruce Campbell showing up.
Oh, absolutely. In cameo movies, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. The news I picked up on it was he's wanting Bradley Cooper to be Batman.
Batman.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
Literally, every big director does this. Every single big director.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think, Phil?
You have to consider, because his wife, who I kind of love as well. But so I'm glad to see her in the movie. If she's asked him for a role, what's he going to do? Say no? You can't say no.
He's not getting out for months.
Yeah.
Exactly. You never hear the end of it. Plus, he's getting people who he trusts, like professionally. Like he knows what they are capable of. He knows they don't mess about. They just get in and shoot their scenes, probably half a day's work, and then go away. Do you know what I mean? They weren't big roles, as Rob was saying. So I'm okay with it. And
I have to say, it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
I can't pronounce her name. The Italian actress who played Ratcatcher.
Do you know what? So here's the thing, right?
She was great in the.
I didn't realize that was her, but I came out that movie thinking, wow, she I don't know why she did something for me in that movie. Do you know what I mean? She was she was stunning, but I hadn't realized it was the Ratcatcher.
I only knew because she posted it on Instagram on the day of release, I think. So I seen this, and then I knew she was going to be in it some shape or form. But yeah, she was great. That was a great ad. Like, if you see, it's almost like an Easter egg, like a James Gunn Easter egg, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Efren, going to come to you on this one. Dave I'll pronounce it right, Fillion? Yeah, says Thrawn is definitely the big villain of this era in Star Wars. I'm not that familiar with Thrawn because I've not read all the back material and stuff. But obviously he's going to be in Ahsoka. Is this exciting news for Star Wars fans? Are we excited about that?
Actually, I just bought the very first Thrawn comic book. I just came back.
Did you?
Yes. I just bought it because I just wanted to have it, and
I
don't know much about the character myself. I mean, I've seen him on Star Wars Rebels. So I just think, sorry, Rob, I just don't know much about it. I hopefully, I mean, I like the character in Star Wars Rebels, so I think it's going to be a good addition to it. Who's going to be playing him?
It's the same guy who played him in the animated series.
He did the voice. It's Mads Mikkelsen's brother.
Yeah.
So
at Star Wars Celebration, Austin, I don't know, were you in the live announcement of that or not?
Yeah, I was in and out.
Yeah. So he came out and he was he was phenomenal. And it was really quite emotional, the love that kind of was outpouring for him. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. Now, Rob, I know you're a massive Star Wars fan. Is Thrawn someone that you're excited to see?
Abso-freaking-lutely. So the key thing to know about Thrawn really is that the original series, Heir to the Empire, was not, what the hell? Where my computer monitor just blinked on me. Is not comics. He was in was a series of books, 3 books, trilogy, Timothy Zahn. It really was, while there was expanded universe and there were some other books that were out there at the time, it was really the series that launched the massive expansion of the expanded universe within Star Wars, and really just so transformative, so good, dealing with the concept of remnants post Return of the Jedi. And it's good to see that they're looking like they're going to borrow heavily from some of that stuff, and as it ties into where we know it eventually goes with Star Wars with the First Order and stuff. And I'm excited as hell for Thrawn. And the big thing with him is that he's an alien species, being Chiss, in the Empire, which did not look well with non-humanoid looking, basically it's standard model human, right? And that to rise to the rank of Grand Admiral shows you what a cunning and what a brilliant individual this guy is. If you haven't read any of his stuff, the miniseries Thrawn is great. Tie into it, as well as the, if you can't afford to get the trade paperback or even the original Heir to Empire comics, go and read the original, check them out from your library, the original trilogy. It's great freaking stuff.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. I've heard a lot of good things over it. Yes, GP.
Yeah, Thrawn is a massive character. He's one of my favorites. The thing I want to say with the Ahsoka series is I hope they don't go down the Empire thing, because that was a lot of Luke and Leia in the books. And I know already there's been a lot of hate online because it's not involving Luke and Leia and all this.
I'm bored
just with the name drop. I know, and I hope they give us an original story with Thrawn.
Yeah. Well, I don't think what I'd heard in Austin, I know you're a Star Wars guy, that Thrawn was going to be the kind of the big bad in the Mandalorian movies. Is that right? Is that Darth Maul just kind of staring over your back there?
Yeah, just protecting me. I'm really, really excited for Thrawn. I'll probably say I'm a fairly casual, though, when it comes to, I haven't read any comics or any of the books, solely just basing this off of Rebels.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very excited, but with the sequel trilogy, with what we have, I know his time's going to be limited because we don't see him in that trilogy, which that's kind of the only upsetting thing to me about like what Disney is cultivating in like the Mandalorian era, and then like what we're going to be getting with Ahsoka. Like there's a lot of build up and a lot of cool things that could be done, but we essentially know what it leads to.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Yeah, gonna be good. Now, lads, I've had a bit of a rough week. I'm back to work now. Which is always fun and all the rest of it. And it's been a bit of a stressful week at work. The only positive I've had in life at the moment is the thought that I'm not going to get dragged to any more fucking Fast and the Furious movies. And then Vin Diesel, the bastard, comes out and says that this isn't the final movie.
Oh, God.
It's actually the start of a trilogy of the fucking movies. I cannot bear the thought of more of this shit. Does that,
Pete,
or any
don't
of
go
his
say
fans,
it. Just don't watch it.
But me mate is a big rally driver. So my mate's a rally driver, and he
doesn't matter.
So the rules are he comes and sees Marvel movies with me if I'll go and see this shit with him. And I thought this was
your mates.
Honestly. Are any of you Fast and the Furious fans? Oh, awesome.
You know what? Okay, wait. Let me say this.
Hobbs and Shaw. I'll give you Hobbs and Shaw. That was good.
I did grow up watching them. The first one came out, and that was like a pretty big cultural impact. My dad was always a big fan of cars and whatnot. And the first one just feels very different than the rest of the movies.
I'll give you that, Austin. The first one was good.
Yeah, first one I think is great. I had fun with the second one. Third one, feels weird with what we got, and then they become summer just popcorn flicks where it's not serious at all. It's one of these things you kind of just watch it now to see, well, they went to space, what are they gonna do now? Hobbs and Shaw was a fun little spin-off. I do think though things have to come to an end, at a certain point, but people are still paying, so
yeah. Chris, are you a fan of the Fast and Furious movies?
Not a massive fan. So I enjoyed the earlier ones, and I've not even watched the last couple, I don't think. But again, just like Austin said, it's a popcorn movie, isn't it? You can watch it, kick back and have a drink and watch it, can't you? Yeah. I hold no hate against it.
So I'm on my own.
On your
own.
Because Rob, come on, save us. Are you a Fast and Furious fan?
No, I've saw the first one. That's it. I don't care. They don't move my needle whatsoever.
These old folks, Austin.
Efren, what about yourself?
Basically what Rob said. I've seen the first one. I've never seen any other Fast and Furious. I like their previews. I thought they always look cool, so that's enough for me. I like the first one. It was like a family orientated, more of a movie, and I've never seen anything else after that.
Daniel's got a good point here, saying it's no different to any other franchise being dragged on for years and years. I'm just hoping this one brings back the enjoyable race night heist style comedy. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. That's when I've enjoyed them the most, when it's kind of been the spy element. I think, as Austin kind of pointed out, as it gets more, let's be honest, ridiculous, like the car in space. And was there one? Which one was the one where they drove off the kind of the cliff and swung on a rope? The car swung on a rope over to the other side or something.
I get 5 through 9 all mixed up. They all kind of just are one big movie to me. So I can't individually. I'll say this: Daniel's a really good buddy of mine, so I'm glad to see that he's tuned in.
Thank you for joining, Daniel.
Did they basically just merge Fast and the Furious with Triple X?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a big marshmallow of all them movies.
I watched like this theory video. It had been a couple or a few years back, where it talks about like this is supposed to be the same character, Xander from like Triple X, and then Vin Diesel's character.
See, Daniel saying that was 9 when the swung on the rope bridge. I will say I thoroughly enjoyed Hobbs and Shaw. I thought that was a great movie.
I think they picked when The Rock was in. I'm a big fan of The Rock.
Yeah.
And because The Rock and Vin Diesel don't get on, he's not in the movies no more. So for me, they're no good. Like Hobbs and Shaw, you mentioned, was good. I just think, I mean,
is that Jason Statham?
Well, I heard that Dwayne Johnson is coming back he's going to have a cameo at the end of this movie because he's going to be coming back. And also Paul Walker's daughter is going to have a cameo on this too.
Nice.
That is a great silver lining in this. So that kind of does come full circle with her stepping into the franchise. I do think that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Daniel's confirmed that Rock is back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Definitely don't want to watch it now.
Yeah.
No. This has got us hyped, mind. William Dafoe's joining Michael Keaton and in Beetlejuice 2, and I've also heard that Beetlejuice's wife is going to be in it as well. I'm absolutely pumped for this. I love Michael Keaton and everything he does. Beetlejuice is one of those movies that is cemented in my kind of childhood. Can't wait for this. And William Dafoe, when he plays batshit crazy, He's superb.
Trying to think what sort of part he's going to take.
He'll play some kind of lunatic.
He's got to be the big bad.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? Are you excited about? Are you a Beetlejuice fan?
Yeah, definitely. Like you into my childhood, and it's just. I hope they don't ruin it. I hope they do it right.
Daniel, this is spot on, mate. I'm with you there. Jamie Lee Curtis playing Beetlejuice's wife.
That would be fucking awesome.
It's gotta be Hillary Bonham Carter.
Oh, you reckon? Most likely.
It's going to be though, isn't it? Because Tim Burton directing, so
Also, Beetlejuice fan?
Absolutely, yeah. This is an iconic movie, especially the build up for this, because this has been in like this pre-production hell for like 25 years now. What was like the original sequel supposed to be? Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Thank God that never happened.
Yeah, exactly. But this has been something that's been tossed around almost like year after year. So to actually kind of see this come to fruition after all this time, I'm excited. Especially Willem Dafoe. I mean, we get another A-list ranking actor in this. And just like you guys mentioned, he can hit that certain kind of crazy. Like him and Boondock.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, man.
I just want to see him and Keaton working together because I think that will be
right?
That, and I want to see Winona back and Winona with Jenna Ortega.
It's going to be phenomenal. Austin, bit of a grail piece. Have you got the Beetlejuice 1/6 scale? Nah, I mean,
no. That's one of those. I'm patiently waiting. I assumed a third-party company would come out with one because it seems like Mars Toys, So Toys are kind of giving all us collectors what we want. But, with this second sequel movie coming out, I may, if they actually come out, like Hot Toys actually comes out with a figure from this, which I don't think they would. They're primarily like a Disney company at this point with very limited one-offs. But they come out that'd be good enough for me.
You might get an in-out rooted hair Beetlejuice. Would be tremendous. Yeah. Phil, congratulations.
People buy it by the end of the stream.
Tremendous. Okay, guys, this is interesting. Hogwarts Legacy's earned over $1 billion. Any of you guys playing it? Any of you gamers?
I'm not there.
No.
I played.
I haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for it to get released on the Xbox One. So.
I haven't heard one negative thing about this game though. I'm not really like a gamer, or I'm not really heavily involved like in the gaming community. But I haven't seen one negative thing besides some like J.K. Rowling comments. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be superb. But if it's made that amount of money, it's obviously doing something right. This is interesting. So this is the writers' strike and the amount of programs and shows that it's impacting on. And there's a list of some of them there. But we've also heard that there's been delays on things like Daredevil, and some of the other Marvel properties. Do you think this is going to have a big impact? How do you think this is? I mean, I know we can't guess, but do you think this is going to kind of cause some issues longer term? What do you think?
Because I can remember.
What do you think, Phil?
Way back in the day, like Prison Break. Remember Prison Break?
Oh yeah.
When it was first coming out, it was like 24 episodes per season, and then I never heard of a writer's strike before. But then I had a writer's strike for the season 3, and since then, every TV shows kind of went from having 25 episodes to about 12, 13, 14. They don't go beyond that anymore. And I think
Heroes, Phil, do you remember Heroes? The ruined.
Heroes was another one. Yeah, all around that time, there was loads of shows that were cut short, and then ended up getting cancelled, whatever, because they couldn't. Like the audience dropped off. Like if you delay a show for too long, the audience will go.
Well, David's in here. The last writer strike killed Prison Break.
Yeah.
I would say, fortunate thing for most of what we have right now, we're coming up into in between seasons here, and what's in the can already is wrapping up, and so we have a gap period anyways where we're for the most part hitting either the off season stuff or you're hitting the reruns. So depending upon how long this strike drags on depends upon whether or not it's going to impact it significantly or not. It may only delay the start of the fall season a small amount, or it may impact more. Where we're seeing it right now is the late night shows, right? Is those daily talk show stuff now where you're stuck.
Yeah, because they're live shows, aren't they?
Yeah, and so the writers aren't writing, and so now you're just getting reruns, and that gets old eventually.
Daniel's saying here that Blade might be affected. The fact that Blade hurts him. He's probably one of the biggest fans of the original trilogy. Daniel, you and me both, mate. That's one of my favorite sets of Blade 3. Blade 2, I would argue, is one of the best sequels ever. It's amazing. And I just bought that one. 6 scale of you getting that one, Austin?
I ordered that third-party company one. Absolutely. Real leather. Oh, bring it on, Present Toys. I will say this. Blade 2 is one of those examples, just like a Terminator 2 and Aliens for some people, where like the sequel for me just blows that original out of the water. I'm also one of those people. I have fun with Blade Trinity. It's for sure a different feel. I have fun with it. I don't think it's a great movie. I have fun with it.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. Ephraim, what about yourself? Do you think this is going to be a big impact, the strikes?
Oh, sure. I mean, if it keeps on going on, this is going to affect all the shows, eventually. Like we said, all the talk shows and Saturday Night Live is already missed.
Oh, Saturday Night Live affected as well, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's on tonight.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. If shows are being delayed,
if this strike keeps on going on, it's going to affect everything.
If shows are being delayed, like the actors and like the people who work behind the scenes on set, they have to work somewhere, so they'll just move on and find jobs elsewhere. So then delay the show even more because you have to wait till they're finished up. So it does have a negative impact. But I do support. Up the workers. I like a good strike. I like the chaos as well.
Absolutely.
But the writers do this every so often. They did it. It's got to be at least 10 years ago, and it affected like Smallville and Supernatural.
It even impacted
the seasons got cut shorter. That's about it.
Does anyone know, how actors, after a show's been off the air, they get residuals every year or every month? Do writers get that also, or?
Yeah, that's part of what this is all about is
Okay.
it's the residuals, because the residuals and the contracts, the way that they are done today, are based off of broadcast television and cable television model, and they don't take in count into streaming services. And so that's what this comes down to, is you have these writers that create this content that's being consumed in a new medium now, and because they're not contracted in a way to get where they get compensated for that, they're losing out on revenue. They've seen their checks go down because stuff's not being consumed as much via traditional broadcast or cable, and is now being consumed via streaming. Meanwhile, the streamers are wanting to keep it the way it is because they're running razor thin or negative margins to begin with. So it's always about getting the creators paid for what it's done and trying to keep up with the times.
Yeah, it's
products.
Royalties don't look like music artists really.
Yeah.
Something kind of like what
it's like Scarlett Johansson with the Black Widow movie, and
she was screwed.
That was supposed to go to cinemas, and they didn't put it straight to streaming. But she earned a revenue of the box office that she didn't get, and that was that whole thing. And it's the same for the writers.
Well, especially
the streaming aspect.
Especially in that case was a little bit different, because normally an actor might get a straight pay and then would get residuals.
Yeah.
In this case, she had exchanged pay for box office.
That's right.
Box office, right? And then that became a big negative issue because,
I mean, I think I'll probably speak for all of us who will support the strike, but it's going to be interesting to see how it impacts on some of our much loved shows in the future. If it gives Marvel, Disney Plus a bit of breathing space to consider how they should be perhaps investing a bit more time in the script or something, I suppose that's not a bad thing. Phil, last comment on this one. Did you want to say something?
On your picture there, it said, or it had a picture of Stranger Things, didn't it? And that's already too late for me, because there's like a year between filming season 4 to this one. It's like, please don't delay that no more, because that needs to happen next year. I don't want to happen again next year.
But also, because I know we're all, I'm certainly, I know a lot of you guys are big Stranger Things fans. The longer it gets delayed, the bigger these kids get.
Yeah.
And it kind of, you almost lose the kind of reality of it, walking
in with mustaches and beards and whatever else.
School with the tash.
It is always fun when you start with a young kid, and all of a sudden during that break they go through puberty and go through it, grow a foot in height.
If
they don't look like Rob with a grey beard and then.
If this strike lasts for a long time, I may watch the Fast and the Furious, from 1 to 20.
Oh, it's not that bad. Don't go that bad, Efra.
I would at least get caught up on some of the streaming service shows I haven't seen.
Picard. Focus on Picard, honestly. Right, guys, just want to quickly jump on some comments here. Daniel, there's a third-party Blade 1 hot toy. Present toys out at the moment, and it's superb, so worth checking out, mate. RJC, Saturday Night Live should just quit.
Should.
It's not a show I really watch these days. I watch all the old reruns of when the classics were on, but I don't watch any of the new stuff, I have to say. Daniel mentioned there. Mr. Planet Prophet, how do you guys feel about digital comics on the blockchain? What's blockchain? I don't know what blockchain is.
It's NFTs, basically. It's stuff like NFTs and Bitcoin.
NFTs. I don't understand NFTs, mate. Non-fungible tokens. I didn't get into that thing, but in terms of digital comics, that's how I read most of my comics these days. I pick up physical copies of the books. I really in skim read a lot of digital copies. It's just easier for me. We've got a bit of a Blade debate here. People arguing whether Blade 1 is best or Blade 2. That's something we should maybe do in a future show. Sequels. What sequels do we prefer?
Definitely.
That would be
definitely.
Yeah. Fuzzy's saying you get much more reality television shows. Oh, Fuzzy, I don't want any more reality TV. Dr. Von Hoot getting into the sequels thing. People think that Aliens blows Alien out the water. Need a stern talking to. Oh. Aliens is amazing, but Alien is every bit it's equal or better.
It's not though, Dr. Von Hoot.
I have to say, agree to disagree there.
I think it's kind of like the Blade and Blade 2 thing, where like the first Alien Blade leans heavily into like the horror theme, especially for Alien, where it's like an isolated horror theme movie, and both of those sequels just ramp up the action. Where to me, it's kind of like action first, and then the subgenre is like horror.
I think Alien and Aliens are almost two very separate kinds of film. Do you know what I mean? For different reasons. Alien, I love both of them, I have to say. Hull Collector, Alien is more horror than Aliens. Yeah, I would agree with that, bud. David is saying, and thanks for joining, David. Pity the writer's strike didn't happen between Disney buying Star Wars. Oof. Oof. And David's a massive Star Wars fan. Yeah, I have to tell you a story about David because David's a friend of mine from the UK. We once went to a convention here, and David Prowse was going to be there. And David is a massive Vader fan. And he went off. I watched him go into the distance to see David Prowse, and he kind of walked back towards us and looked like he was going to cry because David Prowse looked a bit like, you know, those videos you saw of Stan Lee signing books at the end.
Yeah,
he looked like a crushed little old man. And I don't think it was the experience David had wanted, to be honest.
Yeah.
People still arguing which Alien is the better movie. Scarlett Johansson was totally different. Yeah, and she was screwed over, I think, Fuzzy. Marvel's are already laying stuff to give creators more time. Yeah. I'm just going to quickly scan through because we've got tons of comments. This is great, guys. Thank you very much for chucking in all these comments. David saying, yeah, it still gives him nightmares. Yeah, and Mr. Plantive Prophet, cool. Yeah, same. I read them digitally now. As I've been buying. If the digital comic you read is an NFT, it means it's yours. Yeah, those NFT things. I've got some cards coming. I'm going to talk about them later on, which I think are connected to NFTs as well. So
yes, they are. Yeah.
Because I'll be giving a lot of those away. So keep an eye out for when we talk about that in a bit. This was a little bit of interest. Across the Spider-Verse is going to feature a Lego universe. I'm really excited for this movie. I think this is going to be class. And then, not so exciting, Burger King are launching a red Whopper. Dirty bastards. Why do you want a red? Why do you want a red Whopper?
Who doesn't want a red Whopper?
I mean, ginger Whopper. That's the new thing, GP.
Ginger Whopper.
Sorry, Chris. What did you say, mate?
They done a black one, didn't they, at some point, like a black bread one?
Did they?
Burger King, yeah.
The black burger.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Are you guys excited for Into the Spider? Well, sorry, Across the Spider-Verse?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Are you not?
100%.
No. I hate the animation style.
Oh, this GP. Awesome.
I do. I hate it.
I will side a little bit with GP on this one, and that the animation style is not my cup of tea. I thought the first movie was okay. I didn't see what everybody was so crazy about, and I'll go see this one only because I'll see it for two reasons. One, because it's a Marvel movie, and two, because it's got Spider-Man 2099 in it, and I'm all about Spider-Man 2099.
Well, the thing is, I can't stand Spider-Man 2099 either.
Well, you can go to hell and you can die.
Already there, Rob.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You think 16 degrees is warm.
but it's the thing with the new TMNT film. I hate the animation in that as well.
It is hard to get into a movie if you don't like the animation. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same as comic books. You read a comic book, it's the animation it sells. You don't like the
drawing, the art is bad.
The drawing, the art inside the book, you're not going to enjoy the book.
That leads on nicely to the kind of the comic book phase where we'll talk about what we've been reading. But I mean, I think you're exactly right. You're exactly right, JP. Because if you remember last week, we talked about Thor. Now, Thor's my favorite character. And I'm sure that current Thor run is a great story, but the art style just switches me off straight away. And I cannot read it because the art is so bad. So, guys, this is just touching a little bit about what comic books we've been reading. We mentioned this last week. This is World Trade 33. But Chris, you've been reading this recently, haven't you? What do you think of this one?
I enjoyed it. It was different to what I thought it was going to be initially. But I think that's a good thing. I didn't kind of read any previews. But yeah, it starts off. It's quite horror though. It's more like a slasher kind of horror. There's something really good going on with. I won't give too much away, but some kind of code that people are shown on the phones that kind of makes them do things.
Right.
There's kind of like someone that's being took over by this thing. But yeah, it's it makes me want to read the next issue. Let's just say that it leaves you kind of on a cliffhanger. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like I wouldn't say the Matrix. A lot of people said it's kind of like the Matrix meets kind of Something's Killing the Children, but I don't know. I don't think it's that. It's like this.
Sounds good.
It is quite good. It's really good.
It's very cool. I enjoy it. Anybody else read this one? Anyone read it?
Children is brutal.
It's very cool. It's very cool. And what Chris is missing out is there's an awful lot of nudity in the book.
Yeah, it's not for children.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Take my interest.
It's very interesting. It's a good book. Now, this came out this week. This is called Something Epic by Image Comics. Any of you read this?
No, but I'm going to read it because the cover sold it for me.
Oh, well, there's a load of covers.
Just this one.
This one's cool. Yeah. I've just picked up a book from America, which is a limited edition in America, which is a crossover between Mandalorian and Gremlins. So it's the Mandalorian holding a box with this creature coming out of it, which looks superb. This is a superb story. The artwork in this is phenomenal. This is basically about a young lad, and the story basically goes that all the things you see in your imagination as you grow up are just kind of on a different wavelength, so they all actually exist. So this young lad can see everything in everybody's imagination in the world around him. So the art style is phenomenal and very kind of classic to start with. And then you go upstairs and you see this cartoon cat and vampire in his basement that he just kind of has to ignore. And all these different styles of creatures around him as the day goes on. Really intriguing read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. You know what I'm like. If I like a comic, I go back and buy the first issue.
Yeah.
I've bought 5 variant covers for this issue, number 1. Stunning book.
It looks very...
It's supposed to be Goku.
Kind of, yeah. Sorry, Phil, what you saying, mate?
There seems to be a lot more words than normal. Is it same?
Yeah. It is quite wordy because it's kind of establishing the narrative of the story and the background. So basically the premise is by the end of it, he thinks he's alone and he's the only person that can see all this stuff. And then there's somebody else approaches him who can see all the different elements. Yeah, it's worth picking up. It's a good read.
Something like a bit of a Scott Snyder read, that.
Yeah, it is very kind of that style. A couple of other books I've read this week. Mark Millar, Nemesis Reloaded. I kind of waned with this series as it went on, but this last issue has pulled it back completely. It's got a fantastic twist at the end, which is, if you're into comic book spec, it's probably worth picking up because this might lead into some big stuff in the future. It's very, very cool. Very, very cool. We've then got Ambassadors, number 4. I'm losing interest with this. It's the same stuff every issue. But I think it'll tie into the Nemesis stuff in the future as well. This is basically where some lady is given 8 people in the world superpowers. But yeah, it's good. Spider-Man 2099. Rob, are you actually reading this one?
So I have it in my stack to read, but I'm not overly anxious about this because the last couple things they've done with him have been mediocre.
Like I said, Spider-Man 2099.
If this is what you're exposed to him, yes, I understand that. But you know, the OG stuff is.
I have to say, it's not good. It's not.
Yeah, it's like the Amazing Spider-Man. It hasn't been good for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Issue 1, Ghost Law from Boom Studios. Really enjoyed this. This is basically about a young girl and a family who are in a car crash, and then after that, she can speak to spirits. Basically, my kind of story. I quite like that creepy kind of stuff. Relaunch of Green Lantern was cack.
Oh really?
It just when it did. Do you know what? They've literally stolen Top Gun Maverick. I mean, he actually says the lines.
Really?
He actually says it as he flies in between the 2 jets. Yeah.
To be fair, I haven't read it myself, but I was looking forward to actually reading it because with the Flash stuff. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Adams. Yeah. So he's written the most recent Flash story, and it's one of those ones I think I'll follow him going forward to see what else he does. So I was looking forward to this, but now you've just. I mean, Phil, it's very much. I used to read Green Lantern back in the day. It very much feels like we've gone back 20, 30 years, where he's knocking on the door of Ferris for a job flying airplanes, which is what they did with him years and years ago. You know, we moved on since then. I will read the next couple of issues just to give it a go, but you know. King Kong: The Great War was great fun. That's Nazis crashing during World War II on Monster Island and getting eaten by King Kong. You know, what's not to love?
Nice.
So I enjoyed that one. Extreme Venomverse is basically kind of multiverses of Venoms. So lots of little stories of alternate takes on Venom. That was quite good. I quite enjoyed that. That was worth reading. The Great British Bump Off, issue number 2. So you've all heard of the Great British Bake Off. This was mentioned on the Killer Comic Show. It was someone's cover pick of the week. So I read issue 1 and thought, that's all right. Read issue 2. It's a murder mystery set in the bacon tent, and it's surprisingly enjoyable. I quite like it. Really? Yeah. But I like it. And when I'm reading it, I'm thinking, I shouldn't like this. This is shit. But it's all.
You know what? I bet Netflix picked that up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
No, it belongs to the BBC. Really.
Silk number 1. Really enjoyed this. This is a relaunch of the Silk comic book. Obviously, I thought this was good fun. I'm not a big reader of Silk comic books, but this is kind of she's basically set in a different timeline, in a kind of a gangster kind of timeline. And that was quite good fun. So that was worth a read. What have you guys been reading, if anything? Ephraim, we'll start with you. Have you been reading anything, mate?
I've been reading this one book called Local Man. It's written by Tony Fleece, who did Stray Dogs.
Yeah.
It's by Image Comics. Brief synopsis is: once the star recruit of the media sensation super team, 3rd Gen, Jack Xavier had it all, but when controversy sends Crossjack crawling back to his mom and dad's basement in the Midwest, Jack struggles to fit into a world he left far behind, and the bodies start piling up. So basically, people start dying, and he starts investigating. But everybody knows he's a disgraced superhero, and it just goes from there. You know, it's a good storyline. You know, I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I've been reading that one as well, and it's fun, and it makes us want to have read the comics before. I know they don't exist because it's kind of pretending this comic book was in existence. But yeah, I've been really enjoying that. It's good fun.
Actually, I talked to Tony Fleece when I went to Las Vegas Con, and I did a video, but I messed up on the audio, so it didn't come out.
Oh no!
And I asked him about the superhero team, and he said, "Yeah, there may be issues about the superhero team, you know, that he shows in this book." So yeah,
very cool, very cool. JP, what you been reading?
I'm actually rereading Son of the Demon, Batman.
Oh, classic! Yeah,
which is one of my favorite Batman stories. So I'm rereading that because I'm going to do a quick overview. I sort of picked up off of eBay. I'm also reading, and because you're going to do buy-in, I'll wait till the buy-in anyway. I'll leave that.
Wait till the buy-in. Is it Immortal?
I'll wait till the buy-in.
Yeah. Chris, what about you, bud? You been reading much?
I read the World Tree. I still need to read Neighbours. I think that I've got a few stacked up. I've been reading Nocterra. I don't know if anyone's read.
I've never read Nocterra.
I liked it, man.
Yeah.
No,
I'll have to get onto it. That's a Scott Snyder, isn't it?
Well, you may have to, Pete, because that's my pick.
Oh man alive.
I started reading an older book digitally called Kinetic. I don't know if anyone's read it.
I've not heard that one. No.
That was quite good. It started off quite strong, but it got a bit weak towards the end. It's about a teenage boy who was just like pretty much born sick, like really frail, things like that. And his mum has to give him medication, and then he develops powers that he gets from getting hit by a truck. So kinetic energy gives him power, basically.
Okay.
Quite good.
I think I've heard of that one, Chris.
Yeah,
I think I have. Yeah.
Sorry.
Von Hoot saying he's rereading Do a Powerbomb. That is a superb book.
Not read that yet.
Oh, it's incredible. Austin, I don't know if you read many regular comics these days, but if you can pick up Do a Powerbomb, it's well worth a read. It's a wrestling-based book. It's very cool.
So I don't read comics. But there is a series I've been wanting to, and it's Invincible, just because I loved that first season.
I love it.
So I loved the first season. After that first episode, I was blown away, and I was like, oh my, I guess anything can happen in this show now. And I've been wanting to, well, like I said, read the series, but I want to wait until season 2 comes out at the end of the year, because I'm really invested in the show right now, and I still just want to be surprised. I want that shock again from season 1, and I hope I get that to some capacity.
You will. So there's I mean, I've read the entirety of Invincible. You can get it in 3 superb compendiums, softback compendiums, because I think it's about 150 issues overall. But it's stunning. It's a slow burner, I would say. but there are some good shocks and surprises coming. If you want to see a bit of a review of the first kind of few issues, Phil's channel, the Nerd Herd, have done a review recently of the first volume. I think it was, Phil. I think it's fair to say you need to read on from that to get a feel for Invincible.
Yeah, the first 4 issues is the first trade paperback, but you really need to read like the first hardcover at least, which is like issues 1 to 13.
Yeah.
To get the full picture, because again, the same reasons Austin. Like I watched the show, thought it was fantastic, wanted to read the comic, and when I started reading it, it was fine, but it didn't live up to the show until you actually read the first 13. So yeah,
I kind of think you might be better off just watching the show, Austin, and then when the show is finished, going back and reading the book.
Yeah, that's absolutely what I plan. And I still need to unbox my Omni-Man and my Invincible from So Toys. They're still just
need to check that cape on the Omni-Man because it stains.
Yeah, Peter, man, that's the reason I've had it for months, and that's the reason why I haven't opened it yet. I'm like, I have to soak this thing in water, in boiling water. I just have it.
You have to get into the Invincible figure. It's a stunner, absolute stunner.
Yeah,
you know what, Austin? Austin, I watched the first episode of Invincible. It was all right.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Doesn't like Spider-Man. Doesn't like Star Wars. Doesn't like Invincible.
GP, what do you
I
think?
love Star Wars, Phil.
Oh, that's just me. I don't like Star Wars. Sorry.
Oh, you don't like Star Wars. Get him off.
Phil, what you been reading?
So I'm a big fan of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and he has a new current series coming out. The minute, so issue 3 was this week.
Yeah,
and it's a slow, kind of steady build up towards something, but I've really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, like, if you don't know, Cosmic Ghost Rider is Frank Castle, i.e., the Punisher. Gets the power of Galactus, becomes the Herald of Galactus, and becomes the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and
it looks cool as hell.
Yeah, it is. And so this one, he's off grid. He's put his Cosmic Ghost riding pass behind him, and he's working in a tavern. But like bounty hunters are coming and tracking him down and so forth. But it turns out to be like a second version of him, and he thinks he's having these nightmares, and he's doing it in his dreams. But it turns out it's an actual version of Frank Castle, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, somewhere else. And then you have Valkyrie. I think it's Jane Foster. Valkyrie finds him, tries to bring him down. It's a bit of a battle scene, but it's really good fun. And like I say, since like Thanos wins and since that series, and Cosmic Ghost Rider is he's a good character to get involved in too, just for that kind of balls to the wall action fun.
I guess all I would say, Phil, I'm a big Cosmic Ghost Rider fan, and I know you guys have read quite a bit on the Nerd Herd of him. This series doesn't feel like Cosmic Ghost Rider in terms of the way he acts and talks.
Not yet, but I feel like it's brewing nicely.
Yeah.
So he's quite somber. Yeah.
Wow. He's lost his Deadpool kind of nature, hasn't he?
Yeah, but
has he? So it's better.
This is what I was worried about with the Cosmic Ghost Rider, that they would milk this to become Deadpool and making this kind of jokey character. They'll make merch and toys and T-shirts and just sell hell out of it. But then they left him alone for a while. Yeah, now he's back, so they're just bringing them slowly back into the Marvel universe.
It's a good series. I've been reading that one as well.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed it.
Rob, what about you? What have you been reading?
I'm a couple weeks behind, but I just read I'm not reading anything that I'm excited about other than the Darth Vader and Dr. Aphra. I always enjoy reading those. I am looking forward to the next volumes of EC collections that are about to drop. So I'm really excited about that because I love picking up those EC trade volumes.
Yeah, they have good value as well, them, aren't they?
Yeah, and especially compared to trying to pick up actual copies of those books.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, guys, so moving on, we'll talk at this point of the show is what we've been picking up recently. So if you've got any purchases you want to tell about or show off that you've been buying, I just want to quickly start off with this. I've not bought these, but these are being sent to us. So the guys over at HRO, I think it's pronounced Hero, do these DC cards, and they've actually reached out and said they want to send us a box to review on my channel, so that'll be coming this week, so I'm going to do that. They've also, I said, can I have a few extra boxes to give as giveaways? So they're going to send us 2 additional boxes of 24 packs. So my plan is, once I've received them all, I'll bundle them up into little kind of packs of 5 packs of cards, and we'll do a live giveaway. Rob, I want to kind of catch up with you after the show so you can show us how you do your wheel giveaway thing.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll do a show about DC characters and do however many giveaways we can, and I'll post them out to anywhere in the world, so everybody will get a chance to benefit from this kind of giveaway that these guys are giving away. So quite looking forward to that. That should
Brilliant.
hopefully be happening next week or so. I wanted to mention this. This is The Gentleman of Crime. This is a third-party action figure, Danny DeVito from Batman '89. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I've pre-ordered this already. There is another one coming up from Mars Toys, but I've taken the risk and just pre-ordered this straight away. And I guess it kind of prompted us to think this is a figure from my absolute childhood. The Batman '89 movies, and then the sequel certainly are some of my favorite ever movies. And to have it represented in my collection somehow, I think is very important for me. So I guess I wanted to come to you guys. Is there any movie property, TV property, comic property that you would like either an action figure of, or a prop, or something like that hasn't been out yet, that you think, actually I would love this movie or this property represented in my collection somehow in display? It can be a figure, it can be whatever it wants to be. We'll start with Austin.
This is a tough one. This is tough. Up until a few weeks ago, I would have said Ghostbusters, and I know Blitzway made that 6-scale set years ago, but spending $2,500 on 4 figures, that's rough. I'm a fan. I'm not willing to do that. Present Toys is coming out with the set, and so that kind of satisfies that huge want for me. At the top of my head, this is hard. Jurassic Park would be really nice.
Yeah.
Having like an Alan Grant and Malcolm and whatnot. Maybe like a 6-scale Jeep. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Those are big movies for me.
T-Rex would be a little bit exciting in 1/6.
Yeah. We'll give you a Raptor.
How about you, Efren? Is there any kind of movie or any franchise that you'd like to represented?
You know what? I think I'd like to see Dr. Aphra from Star Wars with the killer droids.
All right. Yeah.
Killer droids. I mean, I used to collect statues, and I just don't anymore. But just to me, it's expensive. It's either comic books or statues,
Yeah.
And I just chose comic books. But if Dr. Aphra came out, and it'd have to be a really good one, obviously, and with the killer droids, I think I'd buy that.
Very cool. Very cool. How about yourself, Rob?
I was going to say, for the most part, I'm good, because the only movie property that I really buy things for is Nightmare Before Christmas, and that being a Disney property.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have no short. My problem is actually there's too much stuff, too many figures and whatnot. But if I was to pick one thing that's not represented, I could see like a cool statue of, or maybe even a figure, be a good classic golden age of films, Flash Gordon. Or something like that. I would, yeah. You see, you got that, but
Fantastic. These were $5 each from Walgreens right after after Halloween, so I couldn't pass this up.
So I've never seen that film.
What?
Not me
Never
neither.
seen it.
I've
Never seen it.
What?
Rob,
My
do you think they
my
would
daughter got
appreciate it?
freaked out.
the great thing about this movie is that it's a twice-a-year movie, because you can watch it at home.
Yeah.
Come October 1st, I watch it all the way through the end of December. And to settle the question, though, whether it is a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie, the answer is it's a Christmas movie. And the reason you know it's a Christmas movie, not a Halloween movie, is because Christmas is in peril, and at the end, Santa saves Christmas. Therefore, it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, very cool.
Like Die Hard.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Flash Gordon
Bruce
there,
Willis
Rob.
said it wasn't. I hate that.
You mentioned Flash Gordon there. NECA have done some small scale figures of Flash Gordon from the old. Do you remember Defenders of the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got the Flash Gordon from Defenders, but they also did a classic version as well, which is quite hard to get a hold of. But yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. GP, what about yourself?
I'm pretty good represented with figures and everything. One movie franchise I would love to see would be The Goonies.
Oh yeah,
I would love to see. Even if it was NECA, I'd get all of them.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that movie. That's childhood right there.
Yeah, very cool pick. I love that. I love that movie. Actually, I do love it.
Yeah,
Chris.
Oh, Monster Squad.
Yeah, Monster Squad. Yeah,
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Chris, what about yourself?
I'm not a big toy collector, am I? I think most of my kind of major childhood ones, the cupboard, Back to the Future, Power Rangers, that was my childhood. Like, and I can get them if I want them. I wouldn't mind a good Flash statue, like a Silver Age representation, the actual good Silver Age Flash.
Yeah, you can get some nice Flash statues. I kept away from statues because they're so expensive and fragile. I'm always scared I'm going to break them.
I don't like the McFarlane figures.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all.
Phil, what about yourself?
I mean, GP stole my answer. I was going to say the Goonies.
Oh.
Trying to think back.
Monster Squad, Phil.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what Monster Squad is?
No idea.
What?
Classic.
So I'm trying to scan like my memory. Think, what did I watch when I was a kid? It's not a big franchise, but I think if they released like a figure of this, I would buy it. Do you remember like Romancing the Stone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Michael Douglas. Yeah.
Michael Douglas, like Jack something he played. I'd take that as a statue. That'd be cool, or a figure.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Mate.
That was a great movie.
That's a good. I like that.
Yeah.
I do want to say a couple more things. Predator. I want some more Predators, only because like to get them even secondhand now, it's expensive, and I really enjoyed Prey, and I want a 2-pack.
Yeah.
From
Prey was phenomenal. I picked up my classic Predator 6 months or so ago, and it's a beautiful figure. Austin, you really want to get that one. And I got it from, do you know these kind of funny Chinese sites you get? I got a skull and spinal column covered in blood. Not a real one, just a 1/6 scale one.
Really?
And I've glue dotted it. Well, I'm a nurse. I could get one if I wanted. And I've glue dotted it to his hand, so it looks like he's holding the severed.
I love that. So I'm going to be downsizing the collection, just kind of getting rid of like 20 figures I just don't have a lot of care for, so I can actually get some of these quote unquote grails that I just keep putting off due to the price.
I have a question for Austin. Since you just collect action figures and statues, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Have you ever felt like reading comic books at all, or does it ever cross over for you?
Yeah, it does. It does for me. I'll go through these like when like the Batman Who Laughs, like when that kind of came out. I got into that, and that was really fun. And I kind of got into that due to like the aesthetics of like the Red Death and the Batman Who Laughs and like the Grim Reaper. So I loved it. The hard thing for me, I'm just not well versed in it all. So like with Invincible, it seems fairly easy now because I can just I can go to like Comic Historian on YouTube, and I'm sure I can just like listen to him read it for like 2 hours. So I guess to answer your question, if I really get interested in something and I want to learn a bit more about the backstory, I'll read a comic.
Cool.
Other than that, I kind of just rely on movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Fuzzy, which pose are you looking for on this Sharon Stone figure?
The posable. The posable.
Beautifully reenacted by GP there. Well done.
I know.
Okay, guys. So we're going
to
touch on things that we've bought or picked up in the last couple of weeks. Like I say, I got an AOK from my friend Andy, and he's put, "Hi Peter, I hope you enjoy the comics. May the force be with you, Nanu, etc." So just whilst I'm opening these, because he sent us a little stack, we'll jump on to who's got something they want to show off. Anybody got any pickups this week they want to talk about a show? GP, we'll go to you first, mate.
Yeah, Luke owes me 20 quid because I just picked up for some Immortal Hulk for our next review show.
Sorry, GP, I'm trying to make you big, but I can't seem to make you big for some reason.
Drag him into
I wish someone bloody would. We're waiting years for that.
Are you guys seeing still just the setup?
Yeah, with self thumbnails. Yeah,
you gotta select the one where
it's in the middle. Yeah.
No, it's clicking and it's not doing anything.
Rub hard of face.
Not to worry, GP. Show you your book.
Yeah.
Mortal Hulk.
Well, there you go. That's one way to handle it.
Yeah.
Someone's kicked him out. Oh, he's back.
That's what happens when James isn't here to control StreamYard.
There you go. Now just drag him in. Here you go.
There we go.
Right, show you.
Yeah. Can I show this now?
Show that, GP. Show that.
Right. Okay. This is they call it an omnibus, but it's not really.
What do they call it, GP?
An omnibus.
Oh, Carry on.
Oh, then pronounce it, Pete. Go on. Your accent's worse than mine.
Mine's the Queen's English.
You guys have
Carry
accents? Can't even tell.
Nah. Aye. What? So, Immortal Hulk, Volume 1.
Very cool.
So, I've just picked that up the other day.
And that's for your new show, GP. Tell people about that.
It is. It's for that comic book review show, which is... How many times are we going now, Pete? Are we going once a week or every fortnight or what?
It's your show, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. When we go, we go.
Good stuff. So we'll be doing that one next.
That's the next one, yes. That is the next one.
Rob, what you got?
Well, so I went to a Shortbox Live on Sunday, and pure nostalgia hit me. I love me some Shogun Warriors. So when I go to a booth that had like 4 copies, I just decided I'd buy them out. And
nice drop.
Shogun Warriors in years.
Yeah, so they're all beautiful condition. So I picked up a stack of Shogun Warriors just for hell. So now I think that brings me up to about 13 or 14 copies of Shogun Warriors #1.
So Rob, why? Yeah. Why?
When I was a kid in the 70s, where I grew up, we raced home to watch the TV that was being aired on the independent stations was a variety of man in giant suit type shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So we watched Johnny Sacco and his fighting robot and Ultraman and Space Giants and all these things that were before Power Rangers. And when the Shogun Warriors toys came out and the Godzilla toys and stuff, that stuff was just crazy, man. We just play. It was like, for me, it just reminds me like why I still love Star Wars so much. It's rooted deep in my childhood. So, the only thing that's from my childhood that I really, really am nostalgic about that I still haven't acquired some connection to is I really want an Evel Knievel stunt cycle.
Oh,
that's just like crazy.
I used to have that.
Yeah, we all did, right?
Yeah.
And I keep going, man, I want one. I don't know why, but I still do. And then I picked up some books. I'm working on 3 different runs that I'm currently focused on right now. One is I'm working on my Batman. I want to eventually get down to about 200. I think that's where for a continuous run, I'll be done with. I'm down to about 350 now. So I was able to find a bunch of Bronze Age Batman books.
Oh, nice.
Just some beautiful covers. These are all in really great condition. I was able to pick these up.
Covers, aren't they?
Yeah. It's all good stuff. And these are
all that Riddler cover.
These are all high grade. So I was happy to find them in good condition to pick up and fill in some gaps. No keys, just gap fillers in my run, A little bicentennial action there. So, I don't know why. What was the bicentennial? Oh, yeah. We kind of left some country or something. I don't know. My Mystery in Space run. So Mystery in Space is issue 9 from 1952.
That's very nice.
Issue 30 from I think this is 56, and then this is at issue 37, and this is from 57. So some nice mid-grade Mystery in Space books.
And you picked these all up at Shortbox?
Yeah, Shortbox Live. It was they put on an Ocon. Then there was one book that I picked up there. I was not looking to pick this book up at all. It wasn't on my radar, but I've been working on my Spider-Man run. And I was down to only a handful of books in my 1 through 100 slabbed run. And I went into this year needing 10 books for my collection. I thought I'd pick up maybe 1 this year, and I've ended up picking up like 5 or 6. As some people who watch my channel have seen, it seems like one after another. And this book, I saw it on a wall, and the price on it was just so insane. It was about $1,000 below the current market that I had to pick up the phone, call my wife, and say, "Hey, I'm thinking of doing something." And bless her heart, she enables me so much. She said, "Am I talk you into it or talk you out of it?" And I said, "I just want your opinion." And she ended up saying, "Well, hey, if it's what you want, knock yourself out." And that was Spider-Man #1.
Oh, Jesus.
So it is a 0.5 because it's missing the back cover. You can see the tape residue where the tape used to hold that back cover on. But otherwise, if it wasn't for that, it'd probably be like about a 3. So, but this is also for those you guys are. You'll notice it doesn't say 12 cents.
Depends copy in it. 9D.
Yeah, 9D.
Yeah, UK price variant. So,
Rob, that's a stunning book. Austin, I know you don't collect comics. This is the second appearance of Spider-Man, but first issue of his first comic book run.
First appearance of the Chameleon. Come on.
Yeah, first appearance. That's what we're buying it for. Yeah, this is a mega grail. It's a huge book to have.
Yeah,
first off the press.
Yeah, first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson as well.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so just a small pickup.
Yeah,
just a small one.
Yeah, very nice.
So that acquisition makes me down to 3 books left in my run that I'm collecting until Monday.
Tremendous. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that will be a shocking pickup on Monday. Is that right?
Yes. It's an electrifying mail call on Monday.
Good stuff. Right, who else has got anything to show? Anybody?
I don't anyone follow that. We can beat Amazing Spider-Man #1. I'll just show Pete GP what an actual omnibus looks like.
I know what they look like, Phil.
As Pete knows,
I'm poor. Fuck off.
And I got this like maybe a month or so ago, so I've been quite good recent weeks, not buying myself anything. If anything, I'm getting rid of stuff to make room for more stuff to buy. But the most recent one was the Savage Avengers omnibus.
Oh,
nice.
I've only read the first few issues of that. It's meant to be very good, but
same. I read the first 2 or 3 issues when it came out, and I dropped it from a pull list because I had too many books. But this is one that I'm not a big Conan the Barbarian fan, but because of like Marvel losing the rights to him now, this will be hard to come by and probably never be reprinted. So that's why I grabbed it. I want to read it too, obviously, but I think I'll keep it because maybe one day this will be worth more than what I paid for it, and I could sell it on and pay for.
Yeah, because some of those omnibuses go for crazy money, don't they? The first prints and things.
Oh yeah.
If they're out of print and you can't get them ever again, or they've no intention of reprint them for any reason, they don't fetch the kind of money like Amazing Spider-Man #1 at 0.5 CZC gets, of course, but it's enough to sell and to fund more books.
The thing is with the Conan thing is, the thing with the Conan, I'm sure they're doing the early years. I think they're reprinting them.
Yeah,
but it's Marvel early years.
Don't think it's Marvel reprinted. I think it's whoever has.
No, I think another company's reprinting them, but it's the Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the whole Conan thing, it moves about quite a lot. It's been a few.
Yeah, it's like Deja Forest and Red Sonja.
Very cool.
They'll get shifted about.
Did I spot your new tattoo there?
I'm working on a Spider-Man arm, so that was the first one I got. That's Tom Holland whenever he first gets the iron suit, and then I've got the PlayStation Spider-Man and Miles Morales here.
Very cool.
Nice.
And then I'm currently working.
Oh, look at that!
One of Venom, but it's a year away before it's actually ever finished. It's hard work because I don't understand tattoos, but my tattooist assures me I'm not just bleeding on the money. She assures me because it's like you have to layer it. Like you can't just go all in flat. You have to layer it to build it up, to enhance it.
Yeah.
So,
very cool.
I'll take your word for it.
Heal in between and everything else. Yeah.
Very cool, Phil. Chris, did you have something to show with?
Yeah, well, I've not been buying books because I'm working on a pretty big One Piece that I think you might be a bit angry with me.
Why is that?
I'll show you that. It's one that you want.
All right. Okay.
I'll show you that soon. But more of a project, pal. I got the
very cool.
One of my favorite childhood toys.
Yeah.
It was an absolute state when I got it, so it was more of a project. I whitened it this week and fixed it up, so it looks all new. But it's on my Instagram that the state that it was in, it was cream.
Right. Okay.
When I got it, and I've just whitened it, and it's been my project for the week. But yeah, that's to go with my Green Ranger. 2 of the
very cool
toys that I wanted when I was younger.
Excellent. Very good. Austin, did you have anything to show or just tell her about?
Yeah, so I mean, I got a couple things in today, but I don't know why I'm so slow with this. I just haven't opened them yet. You know, I got Invincible in, then I got a quarter scale Groot that came in.
Oh, right.
Still in box. I think I still have like 5-ish 6-scale figures that I still need to open.
Yeah.
Now it just keeps building up. But kind of like what Phil said, I'm kind of focusing on not, I guess downsizing is a good term, but getting rid of things I no longer collect. So I have a bunch of like 1/12 scale, like a lot of 6-inch action figures. I don't collect anymore. And when I moved in with the girlfriend, I lived in a 4-bedroom house by myself. So I had a lot of room. And now moving in with her, I just got to be very self-aware and actually make some practical choices instead of them just hanging out in the garage. And right now, unfortunately, in the living room, I'm selling them off. So,
and you've done a video recently on your YouTube channel, haven't you, about some of the stuff you've been selling?
Yeah, I absolutely hate selling things. It's the reason why I put it off for so long. I just don't enjoy the process. But I'm kind of hoping. So I'm new to the YouTube world, and I'm kind of hoping just making these shorter videos, and it'll kind of hold me responsible, and kind of make it a bit more fun. And luckily, through the process, I actually met a couple local collectors, and I was able to gift them some things from the collection that I just don't care for. And yeah, we actually have I'm going to Tulsa, which is like a 2-hour drive, and just going on a hunt. I haven't gone on a hunt in a long time, so I'm really excited.
That's when I'm probably at my happiest, when you go to like a toy or a comic convention or a car boot. We call them car boot sales over here. You guys have kind of flea market.
Yeah.
It's the excitement of the hunt, I would say.
I haven't had that in a long time because, like, with 6-scale collecting and statues, it's just all online orders, and it's fun to get. It's fun to unbox and pose it and find like an awesome display for it. But when like McFarlane would release something and trying to go to 4 or 5 or 6 different stores to find it, and like that feeling when you actually do find it, that's fun. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Good stuff, mate. Okay, guys, we're going to final part of the show. We're going to talk a little bit about different things we've been watching. So I'll come to you all in a bit to tell a little bit about what you've been picking up. I wanted to mention this. I know we mentioned it last week, Star Wars Visions. I've now watched season 1 and 2. Everybody was telling us how fantastic it was. I didn't particularly enjoy season 1, but I have to say season 2 was superb. Really did enjoy season 2.
I've heard that
Any of you guys seen it or seen any of the episodes?
Never seen it.
I watched season 2. Obviously, watched season 1 when it first come out. Only the first episode. Season 1 that did it for me, the duel. But season 2, such heart-wrenching stuff in that.
Yeah. It's, you
change the animation as well.
Yeah, there's an episode by the guys who do Wallace and Gromit. So it's all clear. Superb. So, you guys, I know some of you are big Star Wars fans or enjoy Star Wars. I would recommend some of the episodes in season 2 in particular.
Yeah, Rachel and I plan on watching both seasons this weekend because it's a quick watch. They're shorter episodes, right? Like 10 minutes.
Yeah. 10 minutes. I watched them all in an afternoon. I think it was, like I say, some hit more than others, but they're all worth watching. Okay. Next up, I just wanted to mention this. I don't know if this is a show you guys. Sorry, Andy, I haven't showed them off, mate. I forgot all about it. Sorry. When you guys were talking, I completely forgot to show you what I picked up. So this was my. Oh, hello, Chris.
It's Chris.
This was my AOK from Andy that I was unboxing when you guys were talking, and he sent us a pile of Star Trek comics. So I'm absolutely, look at that, absolutely cock-a-hoop. I haven't got a Patrick Stewart signature. I'd love a Patrick Stewart signature. So we've got a bit of Kirk action going on there, and Star Trek Annual. So absolutely over the moon with these, Andy. These are filth.
Look at Scotty getting some.
Look at Scotty getting it on. So yeah, Andy, thank you so much, mate. Really do appreciate that. Very, very kind. EOKs are always tremendous, so thank you. Really do appreciate that.
That's a proper space drama, a proper space opera. Yeah.
I am a Star Trek fan, so I'm over the moon about that.
Look at Andy getting rid of his shit.
Efren, you're a Star Trek fan. I know that. Any of you guys, anybody else Star Trek fans?
Yeah.
Good stuff. It's better than Star Wars.
You talk about that
Star Wars. It's not.
It's different than Star Wars.
What'd you say, Phil?
Like all the Star Wars stuff, like that Visions and like the Rebels anime show and all. Like I don't even know who Thrawn is. At the start of the show, you're talking about Thrawn. Like who is this guy?
Visions is Visions is easy to watch because it's a bit like What If. It doesn't have any of those existing characters in. It's you know, it's non-canon.
People re-envisioning Star Wars.
Yeah. I wanted to mention this, guys. I don't know if this is a show you guys get in America. This is Inside Number 9. You ever heard of this?
No.
Oh, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the League of Gentlemen?
Yeah.
Is that like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like that movie that came out 2 decades ago with Sean Connery?
No. So yeah.
No,
This is a group of these two and a few others who do this superb show called the League of Gentlemen, which is like a horror stroke comedy kind of weird England kind of thing. It's worth watching if you like sick kind of weird humor. And they do this show now. Yeah, very dark, very. They do this show now called Inside Number 9, which is on about, I think, the 8th season. And each episode is inside number 9. So it's in a house, which is number 9, or an apartment, which is number 9, or a boat, which is number 9. And it's all standalone stories, which are kind of horror stroke comedy. And it's back for the new season. And I just wanted to mention it because it's absolutely superb. This episode in particular was basically these two breaking into the mother's house, the mother who passed away. And the mother was a gangster. So they've decided they're going to do like a seance to bring her back. And then it all kind of kicks off and one of them ends up getting his foot chopped off and things. And it's just superb. So I would recommend checking that out. It's a good, fun watch. I watched this shit today. I don't know why. This is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I enjoy some of the earlier movies, even though they're naff. And I was flicking through Netflix or whatever and spotted this one. I thought, I haven't even seen that one. So I put it on. Has anybody seen this one?
No. Sadly, yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it, Chris.
What did they do with Leon? What did they do with Leon?
Yeah, hard. I mean, the special effects were good. There was some decent action in it at the end. But yeah, it was really disappointing. Really disappointing. Not a one I would recommend, guys. I wouldn't bother with that one. I did watch this. I put something on Instagram earlier in the week, and my good friend Fuzzy, who's in the chat, recommended Monsters. I absolutely love this. Has anybody seen it?
No, it's on my list now because I saw your story, and I've seen this for the past couple of years now.
It's a real interesting story because the monsters are almost second fiddle to the human kind of interactions and things, and you see them in passing, and then you see them at the end a little bit. But it kept me engaged all the way through. It's not a kind of an in-your-face monster. Well, there is a good attack, but it's not like a kind of a scary one as such.
In the end, the humans are the monsters.
I wouldn't like to give that away. But this is the movie, not the Netflix show. Dr. Von Hoot. I think there's a follow-up called Dark Continent, which Fuzzy said not to watch because it's cack. But this was well worth watch. I would watch that. Right, guys, I set you some to watch Walking Dead City trailer. Efren, we'll come to you first. Are you a Walking Dead fan? Oh, look at Pete's he's bad. Are you a Walking Dead fan?
Not a bad
thing. I enjoyed the regular series and all the offshoots. Like Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm looking forward to this. I don't think it's going to be that long of a series. I think it's going to be less than 10 episodes to one. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious. It's been about 2 years since the Walking Dead ended, so I'll watch it. See if it's any good.
Yeah.
They're going to be in New York City, which is a different twist. It's a big city. See what's happening in New York City.
Yeah.
Bit of a shift.
Say again, Chris.
GP's been to Ann Summers by the looks of it.
Yes. This is what our boss is getting tonight.
Rob, you've never seen any Walking Dead, have you? Is that right?
That's correct.
Is this trailer got you enthused and pumped and excited?
Doesn't move my needle one iota. If I want to watch zombies shuffling about, I'll go back and watch the classic Romero film and stuff. I mean, I'm not watching a repetitive TV series about hordes of undead trying to eat people is just
not for you.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't move my needle at all.
Fair enough. Phil, what about yourself?
I am a fan of the show. I think the show is great. To be fair, The Walking Dead, as good as it was, even though there were a few series where it was a bit boring, a bit lull, but like they've ended it, but they haven't ended it because there's still loads of stories to do, including this one. I do like Negan. I think Negan and Maggie have a good story to tell. But I'm more intrigued to see what happens with Rick and Michonne rather than Negan and Maggie. So I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it. And the fact it's only six episodes.
I think it's 6. Yeah, 6 episodes or something.
It's going to be a breezy watch. It'll be interesting. So
you see, Maggie's probably my least. I don't find her interesting at all.
She's a bit of a drab,
Yeah. Austin, what about yourself? Are you a Walking Dead fan? Did this trailer excite you?
Yeah, so I'm a bit torn because I would say I do like The Walking Dead. Trailer looked good. Thing is, I'm not caught up, and I've tried going through the seasons a few times, and I'm one of those people. I can't just start at season 5, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? It's been a couple of years. I need to rewatch start from season 1, and then I burn myself out. It's always like right after like the prison season. Was that 5 or something? I get so burnt out, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break, and I just never go back to it.
Yeah. I mean, what I would say is the last season was pretty good. The last ever season I enjoyed. There were some good horror episodes in that as well, so that's worth maybe catching up on.
Even the one prior to that, with the Alpha.
Yeah.
The Whisper War.
It really picked up because there were a few seasons where it did feel very dragged out, and if you switched off and you came back onto it, you would have missed out. But I like that. I can't remember the girl's name who played Alpha, but she's a well-known English actress. She's been in quite a few things, and she was really good. And that brought us on to the last season. I think you're right. There were a few episodes there that real horror influenced, but they were done really well and very interesting. I am sad it ended, to be fair, because I think there was more to it, but obviously there is because there's like 60 million spin-off series come out of it. So.
Yeah. GP, you're a fan. I can see you're brandishing Negan's back there.
Am I?
The seal, yeah.
So I still got the last season of Walking Dead to watch, but I think you can jump into this new one without watching that one, because obviously everybody knows Negan's backstory by now and Maggie's. If you
kind of a standalone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Maggie, not my favorite character at all. Absolutely hate the character.
Fair enough.
But you throw Negan in the mix with the history, with Glenn and everything, and it knocks it up a notch.
Yeah, it makes it a bit more interesting.
I think that's fair to say.
I think you're right. You could go into this without watching it. However, there's a lot of things happen in the last season between those two that would build it up even more. So definitely get the last season.
I wonder if they're not following the comic book anymore. Can they do whatever they want with these characters? You know, you know they're not going to kill them, but who says that they're not? You know.
Yeah. Chris, did it excite you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah, I think it's looked more epic in scale. I think the budget's kind of maybe gone up by the looks of it as well. But yeah, it looks good. I think it's interesting. But again, like a few people probably think I want to see Rick and Michonne a bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good change, because I think the last couple of seasons there was some good episodes, good horror action, but the action had kind of gone a bit for me. But this looks like it's bringing it back. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it.
Fuzzy's just mentioning there, and I forgot to pick this up because he told us a while ago that there's a new show by Mel Brooks on Disney Plus. Fuzzy, can you remember what it's called?
History of the World Part 2.
Is that the History of the World Part 2?
Yeah. Fuzzy was telling us the other day it's supposed to be superb.
I need to watch it,
I thought Mel Brooks had died a while ago.
No.
He must be a canny age now, surely.
Oh, he's in his 90s.
Yeah. But I'll watch that because I love Mel Brooks' stuff, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Saying it's great is
is it worth a watch? Is it worth a watch?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is it
now,
great?
Now,
I don't
Rob,
think so.
Rob,
will you get a giggle, Rob?
Is this worth a watch?
Occasion.
Rob? Is this worth a watch? Because I mean, the trailer.
No.
So I will say this from watching the trailer. It looked like they've decided to swerve from trying to be another version of Jaws into straight. We're going to embrace the B movie, the B movie giant monster aspect of it, because it just seemed like from the trailer, bits of it so over the top and ridiculous that it might be worth a while watch on streaming.
Yeah,
at some point, but especially if you like B monster movies, but I'm not going to go see it in the theater.
I mean, I saw Meg 1 with, excuse me, with my son because he was obsessed with it, and I have to say I had fun. It was a fun kind of switch your brain off kind of movie. Did this excite anybody? Austin, you're a big kind of monster movie man.
Yeah. So actually, Rob nailed it for me on this. I think I enjoyed the first one. I don't think it's a great movie or anything, but it's I throw out the term popcorn flick because it's just one of these. It doesn't resonate on any level. It does nothing new. But they seem self-aware in this film, so I'm curious to see what they do with it. I'm not gonna pay to go see it though. So this is going to be a wait and see which streaming service gets it first.
Yeah. See, I think I'll end up at the cinema because my son will want to see this. I'm sure.
5-1 says it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, without doubt. Efren, is this your kind of movie? I would imagine.
Seen it. I seen the trailer because you told me to. That's about as far as I'm going to go.
Yeah. Anybody else? Phil, is this your cup of tea?
I've never seen the first one. My wife is a big fan of these ridiculous, like big monster, big fish, crocodile movies, and she watches them, and she knows she can watch them without asking me to watch them with her because I have no interest in the movie like this. I watched the trailer, as Efren said, because you told me to. And to be fair, it looks interesting, but like
what?
No, in terms of like, this big massive shark, I get it, but I really hate like some of these movies that are too far-fetched that they have to make them comical, and I get they can't be real, but like it's just sometimes it's just too much. But hang on, far-fetched.
Wait.
Statham was kicking a shark in the nose. That's not far-fetched, surely.
A megalodon.
I
think it's so big that it's just to eat and everything, going through everything, and he puts his foot up in its snout like that's gonna freaking stop it.
It took down a fucking T-Rex.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Statham kicks it in the sea.
What are you trying to say, mate? What are you trying to say?
Foot up, stop.
Isn't Jason Statham like a national treasure for y'all over there?
No.
It's like the perfect amount of stubble. You don't think that could stop a megalodon?
No, but I reckon he would play a tremendous Captain Britain in Marvel Universe. I reckon you could do a good.
Maybe Union Jack.
Wait, you think you'd choose?
Sorry, not Captain Britain.
Jack.
Yeah, not Captain Britain. Union Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
You think him over Henry?
Oh no, I want Henry for Captain Britain. I want Statham for Union Jack. Union Jack.
Henry is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Statham, not so much.
I don't care.
Well, welcome, Shane. Shane's just saying that the Eurovision Song Contest is on, so he'd rather watch the Meg 2. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, that kind of moves on, guys, to our last little section. As you said, I made you watch the Meg 2 trailer, and it got us thinking about big animal movies or monster type movies. And I've just chucked a few up here.
But you're missing.
And I kind of want you to have a bit of a think about some of your favorites. Now, there are tons more. These are just a few that I chucked out. I'm going to start off with one of my favorites, which is a bit of a stupid comedy one, which is Eight-Legged Freaks. I absolutely adore that movie. I remember going to see it in the cinema when I was much younger. But I'm interested in your choices. Efren, we'll come to you first. Have you got a favorite kind of big animal, big monster kind of movie that you like?
Oh yeah. For me, it's the original Jurassic Park. When that movie came out, I was so into it. I went, oh my God, then they were talking about the science that they can make dinosaurs, I was like, oh, that'd be so awesome,
Yeah.
But the original Jurassic Park, was just, that's my favorite, monster movie.
Yeah. Have you seen many of the sequels?
Yeah, I've seen all the sequels except for the last one. Yeah. I've enjoyed them all, the whole series.
Don't watch the last one.
It's not an easy one.
It's interesting because that came out around the same time as the was it the Ghostbusters kind of follow on?
Yeah.
And I remember we're talking about it and saying in Ghostbusters, they did quite a nice job of bringing the original cast back, and you kind of felt a bit of a connection and stuff. In Jurassic Park, there was none of that. They kind of wheeled them on, and you've got Jeff Goldblum, who is one of my favorite actors, and it just felt completely flat in its arse when everybody met. Do you know what I mean? There was no excitement for me personally. What did you guys think? Did you like that last movie?
Not seen it.
I mean, it ended the whole story. That needed to end somehow, I suppose. But it was just like you're saying that they bring in the old cast, and there was no nostalgia for like Alan Grant and all the rest. I didn't care for them.
They had so much potential. What I thought was set up in the prior movie, like with the human cloning, and I thought this was be more of like an apocalyptic kind of thing, or leaning a lot more heavy into like the human cloning aspect, and it honestly fell short on every single thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
It was sad, sadly. Yeah. Phil, what about yourself? You just said that you're not big into these movies. Or any of these jumping out at you? Ones that you like? Or?
I mean, I actually picked Tremors before you had it in the big massive corner of your thing here, because different from Meg 2, for example, which is obviously really far-fetched. Tremors is really far-fetched. However, it looked real. Like, I love movies like back in the day with proper props. Wasn't CGI. It was prop coming out of the ground. And Tremors is that. And it had the right amount of comedy, but also like I think I was quite young. Like, I'm guessing, I don't know, 8 years old when I watched it. I'm not sure when it came out. I'm sure it was a few years after that. But it was quite scary at times.
Yeah.
But then you had do you remember the couple, like the man and woman who lived in the big house with all the guns?
Yeah.
It was just hilarious and really good. And Tremors is a great movie. Underrated, in my opinion, even though people do rate it high. It's not high enough.
Then I've got Kevin Bacon's in it, isn't he? Too? Yeah,
he is.
Tremendous movie. Tremendous movie. Ross Austin, what about yourself? I know you're a big movie fan.
Yeah. I love me some creature features. I mean, if we're to put Jurassic Park, that'd be my number one. But what made me really like the B flick kind of cheesier ones is Anaconda and Lake Placid. Those are the two that really just made me fall in love with this particular genre of horror. And just from there, from The Cave, The Descent, the newer ones like Underwater or Life, love it all.
I was talking to someone not so long ago about, because I couldn't. A lot of those films came out at the same time, The Cave and The Descent and things like that, and they kind of melded into one. And I couldn't remember the name of it, but there's a one where they're on kind of like an Aztec temple. The ruins, is that where the it's the branches and stuff coming into this? Yeah, that's a phenomenal film. I love that.
Oh, that one's good.
Yeah, some great movies there, and it's tremendous. Rob, what about yourself, bud?
I can't believe you didn't even make your list of your charts there. How can you talk about these giant creature movies and not go with the granddaddy King Kong? I mean,
he's on.
Where? The original King Kong? Come on.
No, not the original. I kind of put him in. I put him in with
that's
the.
Even not even like the original King Kong versus Godzilla. Come on, I'm talking the
Ginger
old
Kong on here. What's the matter with you?
Ray classics. That is the jam. And then, of course, from there was all the giant radiated creatures that blew up in the 50s, the giant Gila monster, tarantula, all these movies that became staples later on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Those where I fight, guys, shut up, I want to watch the film. Those are like great stuff. The stuff that, as Austin said, was on creature features, which is was a common thing here in the States, at least. Late Friday nights, you'd have Saturday nights, whatever, you'd have these things on these independent stations. And of course the Godzilla flicks, man. I mean, when you go into all those things with kill all monsters and that's just like, come on.
Yeah, there used to be some of our.
I like the classics. I don't all the newer ones like the crocodile and the alligator and the anaconda and these things. I don't know. They just don't have.
That's my generation, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're not. they just don't. I don't know. They try to be too serious about it, whereas the others, I like these ones where they shot them and they didn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, I tell you what, I know Austin mentioned Anaconda, and we talked last week about a remake of that apparently with Nicolas Cage apparently, which is
I swear they're missing out if they don't bring back Sir Mix-a-Lot into that one. Come on.
Yeah. But I tell you, a recent alligator film which I loved, Alligator Crocodile, is Crawl. Have you guys seen that one? That's a very good movie.
I liked it a lot better than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Because it had that. I also like these horror movies that have like this isolated theme to it, where it primarily takes place in one location. Yeah. Love that, and this nailed it.
Or how about Arachnophobia? That was another one.
No, what's Peter with bloody spiders on?
Yeah.
No,
Deep Blue Sea.
Spiders.
Arachnophobia freaked me out for years because there's the family eating the bucket of popcorn.
Oh, shut up,
spiders in the popcorn.
Peter, fuck off.
It's horrible. Yeah. What did you say there, Austin? Sorry.
Deep Blue Sea.
That's not a good one. Is that the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get LL Cool J.
Yeah.
That's when we had all these like these rappers getting into all these creature features at this point, in the 90s.
Terrible. Chris, what about yourself?
I mean, the list's gone for me, but you've already said kind of what I was going to say. The Jurassic Park and the Tremors, that was my jam. But also, like Rob said, the Godzilla movies, the original ones and the shows, I used to watch them on VHS when I was at school with my friend.
Yeah.
We used to bring them around and we used to watch them, and they're some of my favourite monster movies, man. Even Godzuki, which was terrible.
Godzuki, I used to love Godzuki as well. Yeah.
Love them all.
GP?
Yeah, well, Rob was saying the King Kong being the granddaddy, but actually the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms was well before Godzilla, and you wouldn't have Godzilla without that, and that is one of my favourite films. Yeah. And it's Ray Harryhausen doing the effects on it, so that's a win-win for me.
Very cool. That's a good one. Yeah. I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to a couple of modern movies here. Monster Hunter is very, very cool. And The Great Wall, I went to see that with my son. That's quite a fun movie. And Pedro was in that. I hadn't realized Pedro was in it. But yeah, and I love the Pacific Rim movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed them. Very cool.
Overfilled, fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And I even enjoyed Rampage, just saying. It
was all right.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for your time. Just to kind of mention a few things that are coming up on various channels. On Monday night, we've got our Geek Art Attack show where I'm going to be challenging the team to draw things from computer games. So please do join me. GP's been doing his homework already there. Please do join me Monday night to see how the guys react to some of those. And there is a subscriber competition. So if you want to put some entries in, you can win some comics. So please do think about doing that. GP, we've got Immortal Hulk Volume 1 review coming up soon.
Yeah, coming up soon. Not sure on the date. I'm just waiting for Keegan to let me know when he's doing his live. So we're swapping about.
Excellent. So if people want to try and read up on Immortal Hulk before that show, it's a superb series. Well worth reading.
Yeah, it is. This is coming up tomorrow. Just be Hall. I haven't had one since February, so this is everything I picked up since then.
Some good books there, GP. Lock and Key, superb. Philadelphia. Yeah, some good stuff there. But, Crimson Cage is phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
Chris.
Hello.
This is yours.
So just a couple of hidden tips on how to start your comics, like the best practice, like how I start mine. So it's pretty interesting for a new collector, I think.
Good stuff. Is that out now?
That's out now,
in the box.
Yeah.
Throw them in the box, but that's pretty much it, mate. Leave them hanging out like
that.
Just wanted to do a bit of a shout out to some of the UK comic community. So we've got some live shows. We've got this week in Metropolis every Tuesday night at 9. So please do check them out. We've got the Nerd Herd on Wednesday. What are you reviewing this week, Phil?
Thanos Wins. It's this week's review, but it's been done before recently, apparently. So,
it's a good book. It's a really good book. So please do check them out. If you're not subbed up to the Nerd Herd, please do, because they do some fantastic content.
Absolutely.
got the Killer Comic Show normally on a Thursday, but they're taking a bit of a break at the moment, but they'll be back soon. And then we've got the Grey Man on a Saturday who does his Cover Slingers show. So please do check that out. Austin, what have we got coming up on your channel?
I have a lot of things like in the process. A room tour. That's probably going to be the one I'll be putting most of my time in, because I've never really done a proper room tour before, and I'm kind of to the point now where the rooms finally kind of coming together. And so yeah, that'll be the latest one. But I'm just happy to be on here with all you guys, Peter. So
you're always welcome. I'm absolutely looking forward to your room tour, because I'm kind of a voyeur looking over your shoulder here at all these cool figures and things you've got. So yeah, looking forward to seeing some of them in detail. So Austin's channel is relatively new, so please do go and check him out and sub to his channel, sub to everybody's channel, but please do check out Austin, because he's just starting out on YouTube.
Austin, what's the name of your channel? Is it Austin Nicholas?
Yeah, so it's Austin_Nicholas_.
Okay, cool.
I'll pop everybody's channels in the description of this video when we're done. Rob, what have we got coming up on Rob's Fat Stacks?
Well, obviously on Thursday, I had dropped the video that was the tour for Shortbox Live. So you've seen the stuff, but if you want to see what Shortbox was like, the first half of that is kind of a contour video. On Monday, my Monday mail call, it's going to be electrifying. Guarantee you want to check that out. Thursday, I got some original art returned from CBCS. So a stack of slabs. All of them are all original art commissions that were done that are going to be unboxed. And then we'll be back on Saturday with only slabs. We have Sector 2815 on as our guest. He's a big Golden Age Green Lantern guy and stuff, and big DC guy. Also, just throw it out there for all of you guys. Opened up today is nominations for the Comic Book Community Awards. Go to cbcawards.org and nominate your favorite UK channel and show, as well as even US or anywhere else in the world they are, so that your voice is heard and get more people out there as part of this community for those awards. It's a great thing that they're doing. So there you are.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Robin. We'll put the link to that in the description as well. So thank you for that. Efren, what about yourself, my friend?
Well, right now on my channel, I'm doing a giveaway. All you have to do is just leave a comment and you'll win the running. I'll be doing it in about 2 or 3 weeks, the winner. And I'm actually dropping another video tomorrow, something Peter does, but to a bigger extent is what you've been reading. I just pick like between 5 and 10 books and I talk about them that are coming out. And these books that are coming out, I believe on the 17th, which is this upcoming Wednesday, I just picked between 5 to 10 books that I enjoy reading, and I talk about them briefly. And we also do our monthly picks with Peter, which I look forward to all the time, where we do 5 advanced orders and 1 book we're reading. So it's
good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you, Efren. Always enjoy your content, mate. Yeah. Also, just to mention, I did a live show with Efren on Monday night, in part of my new series called This Is My. So we did a bit of an interview, asked Efren some pressing questions, and Efren showed off some of his amazing comic books. Now, I am wanting to do that show probably weekly or fortnightly going forward. So if anybody wants to take part, please do let us know. I'd hope everybody on the screen, I'd love to get you all on for an episode. And you can show off anything you want in your collection. It hasn't got to be toys or comics. It can be literally anything you collect.
Not to see in everyone's collection.
Sorry?
Not to see in everyone's collection, no.
Yeah. Yeah, Efren's collection was stunning. And also just to mention, this week or next week, I will have a special video coming out because my X-Men #1, 1963, is coming back from CGC, and I've resisted having a look at what grade it is. So I might be crying or I might be celebrating. We'll see. So we'll see when that comes out. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Really do appreciate everybody's time. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You've been fantastic. The chat's been buzzing, so really do appreciate that. And thank you so much to everybody who shared some time with us tonight. I know it's a long show, and I appreciate your time immensely. And with that, we'll call it a night. So thanks very much, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Take care.